She's treed.
This week on Kentucky Afield.
I had to pay for my own shells, buddy. But my uncle didn't bring me from Hazard, so I'm real careful about the way I shoot.
Fall squirrel season is in, and it's hard to beat hunting them with a good dog. Next, we're in the field with a youth hunter who's looking to harvest his first deer. Then, we'll be in the woods with biologists learning more about wild pigs.
So what we'll do is we'll try to catch that entire sounder.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit.
Nice job.
Yes! Yes!
My first muskie.
Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
There it goes! Boom!
Wow, that happened fast. Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Hey, the leaves are starting to change and the nuts are starting to fall. And you know what that means? It's time to go squirrel hunting. What's her name again?
Her name's Ellie Mae.
What type of dog is she?
She's a mountain fast.
A mountain feist.
Mountain fast. They use their eyes, ears, and their nose real well. You might see them get up on their hind legs even. They'll wind and they just go get him, girl.
She knows what she's here for. And that dog immediately.
Find a squirrel. She's pretty accurate, this little dog here is, you know. I can't speak for all of them, but I like the breed just for the fact that usually when they tree, there's meat there because, you know, they're not just smelling a track, they're smelling that whole squirrel.
Yeah.
It's up the tree.
Look how she's jumping.
When she starts bouncing like that, she's smelling something right there. I think she smells one right now, guys. She's treed.
Look at her. Look at her biting on that stump.
That squirrel has went straight up into there.
Look how excited she is.
Oh yeah, she knows it's there. That's exactly where it's at. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Ellie. We ain't gonna get that one. It's in a hole. Come here, baby. Right through there. That's a good girl. I usually just pack her a little ways. We'll go back up here and go through this gate and,
all right,
and head up this way here to the right. And she should have us another tree in no time. So that's the way we're going.
There you go.
She's on that tree, buddy, both front feet. I see the squirrel.
I just saw the squirrel too.
Squirrel sitting right up in the top.
There's two.
Is there two?
I'll tell you what, Steve, you get in range where you think you can get a shot at one, and if the other one takes off and we had to shoot at it running, I'll be ready.
I was taught as a kid, aim small, miss small. I had to pay for my own shells, buddy. But my uncle didn't bring me from Hazard, so I'm real careful about the way I shoot. Ready?
There you go. There's one. There's one more up there.
Yep. You want to shoot it? He's right up in that same fork, Chad. Told you that gun's dead on. Yeah, man. Good girl. Good girl.
Nice job, Ellie Mae.
Good job, Ellie. Good job, buddy.
You think they don't want those squirrels? I mean, I'm telling you what.
She loves it.
Hey, we enjoy getting out here, and it's always good for the table. But you know what? That dog likes it more than we do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look how excited
she
she
loves
is.
it. Yeah, she's excited. I believe she's on the right. Stay on this side.
We'll let old Ellie Mae tell us where we need to go, huh?
That's exactly right.
You see right there with the fork? It's sitting right there. It's a gray squirrel. She's looking right at it.
Here, Chad, you come get the rifle and I'll handle the dog.
I got a pretty good shot right here. All right.
Go ahead. Crack shot. Good job,
There
Ellie.
she goes.
Good
That
dog.
is
Good
on
dog.
it.
Nice shooting, Chad.
Thank you. I'll tell you one thing. You've got a squirrel killing combination with that little 1022 and Ellie Mae.
Hey, Lordy.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any better. You just turn the dogs loose. It's very social.
Yeah.
We can sit here and talk and carry on, talk
yeah.
about our deer season, and lo and behold, wait for her to bark, walk
Yeah,
up
we
there.
talk about bear hunting, elk hunting, everything else, and then directly you hear a bark. Let's go.
We've hunted everything in the state of Kentucky and got 3 squirrels. Pretty good. That is pretty good.
Hey, Lordy, good job.
Where did this originate, using feist dogs?
Even George Washington, in some of his memoirs, were talking about, you know, a feist dog. And that's what they used to call them. You know, it's been that far back, but a lot of your poorer people, your early settlers in the mountains and stuff, you know, they could have one dog for everything. So it's pretty much an all-around dog. So that little feist dog was easier to feed and care for. So, you know, some families that couldn't afford the bigger dogs just took the smaller dogs and they adapted into all-around hunting dogs, varmint dogs, you know, and now they're just specifically squirrel dogs.
That's interesting. You know, there's always a good storyline behind something like this. And this entire breed of dogs, because they are cheaper to feed and can be trained to treat multiple species, came out of the mountains because people there just didn't have much.
Some of your first settlers, some of my people were some of the first settlers in southeast Kentucky, came in through Cumberland Gap and that way into Kentucky. You know, my daddy always talked about the old feist dogs when he was a little boy down there and stuff, you know, them getting snake bit and treeing possums and coons of a night and squirrels of a day, you know, and stuff. And he loved a tree dog, and I guess I growed up hunting with him, and that's what made me love the tree dogs. And I mean, I rabbit hunt and stuff too, and got them rabbit dogs and all, you know, that, man, there's just something about a tree dog, you know, being able to go to it. It's just so much different.
It is, and you know, your dad loved it, and I'm sure that it a little bit brings you back to your childhood.
Absolutely. I think she's fixing a tree. She's treed.
There we go.
We have a little talk and tree a little squirrel.
It sounds like it was the beginning of a song.
Yeah. Talk to him, girl. Good girl.
Oh, I see it, going up the tree. It's up there in the top now.
I can just barely see a little piece of hair there. How's that? Good girl. Good girl, Ellie. Good girl. I just shot at what I could see. Look how red that squirrel is down its back.
Yeah, sure
For
is.
a gray.
I'll tell you one thing. She was sure it was on that tree, and I was not going to doubt that dog.
No.
There's probably one over there, too.
There it sits, right there. See it right there in the top? Right there it sits.
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
See it?
That dog was on that tree,
Oh, yeah.
and we spooked this one out walking to it, and sure enough, again, that's a fox squirrel. So we've got a gray and a fox sitting here side by side.
It is a fox squirrel. Yeah, I knew she had a squirrel there, and then when you seen that other, but a lot of times that'll happen like that.
Get ready, coming down the tree, get ready.
Here. Here, Ellie, here. Here, Ellie, here.
Coming down, there you go.
Get him, girl. Good job, Ellie. Good job, Ellie.
Fantastic. I tell you what, that is awesome. When you sit there and we walk in and we see a squirrel and we think, oh, that's what she's barking at right there. And I said, you know, look at that dog.
She bites onto my coat and everything.
Look at her. Oh, God, I love that enthusiasm.
Good girl. We've got oak, scaly bark hickories, we've got tight bark hickories, big nut trees, the shag barks, scaly barks, same thing. Got red oaks, white oaks, there's plenty of big timber in here, and then you got these little locusts. That's pretty much their homes in there besides the nest, you know.
Well, the woodpeckers have opened it up for them and just said,
Yeah.
here, live here.
Yep. All right, girl, go get him. Go find a squirrel. Go get him. Go get him.
She always takes off. When you let her go, she always goes right in front of you. and
Perk
works
them
over.
ears
All
up
you
and
gotta
goes
do is,
listening. Yep.
it's like you're steering her right this way. Like, you know, like a good lab dog, a retriever dog.
Yep. There she
There she
is.
is. She's already treed up again. She's straight out.
Yep.
Straight out this ridge.
I see it. It's a fox squirrel and it ain't very high. Here, Chad, bust that fox squirrel right in the head. Look right there, right here low.
Oh, yeah.
Through the cedar. Good shot. Shot, Chad.
There he goes.
Yeah, man, good job.
I think that's number 10.
Good girl. Good girl, Ellie.
You know, Steve, you like to shoot these fox squirrels right at the end of the hunt so you don't have to carry them all day.
Exactly. That's good thinking. Look at there what Chad shot out to you, buddy. Look at there what a squirrel.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you what, I can watch that dog work squirrels every single day. This weekend, October 9th and 10th, is the youth firearm deer season. But if you missed your chance, you can always take a youth in November during the modern deer firearm season. It's youth season in Kentucky, and 6-year-old Harlan Tipton is headed to the blind with his Papaw Keith, looking to bag his first deer. He should be set up in a pretty good spot, and he's had some family and friends that's done some scouting for him. Let's see how it goes.
Did you shoot your gun yesterday? How'd you do?
Good.
Did you put it in the bullseye?
Yes.
You need to get still. Come back and have a seat. Check with your binoculars.
I don't know what that thing is. Looks like a gorilla. Papa. There's something down there. It looks like a gorilla.
Stand still.
Why?
They're right there. It's a doe.
Where's he at?
It's a doe.
Where is he at?
But she's looking right at us.
I don't see her.
Psst.
What?
See her?
No. I don't see her. Oh, they're coming down here. I'm gonna shoot that light brown one.
Are you gonna shoot a doe or a buck?
No.
You gonna shoot a doe?
Yeah, my dad told me to. I knew I had bones. Headphones.
Can you see her?
Darn it.
Take your finger off.
Okay.
Are you ready to shoot?
Yeah.
Can you see her?
Yeah. I see him.
Okay. Shoot right behind her shoulder. Watch her. Watch her. Watch her. She's running back down. See her? See her right there?
Yeah.
You think we got her?
Yes.
Think you got her?
Oh, man, that looks so good. Oh, man.
Think you made a good shot?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna let her lay a little bit, okay?
I saw my dad,
Give a chase 5. Good job, buddy.
Hello.
Hey, Daddy.
What's up, buddy?
Nothing. I just shot one.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Outstanding. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's down. I see her.
That is awesome. Is it a big one?
No, there was a little bit more big one, but it's a pretty big one.
That's awesome, buddy. Man, I'm so happy for you. That is so cool. Do you realize you're 6 years old and you've already shot a turkey and a deer?
Yes.
You're a pretty special kid. I'm so proud of you. I'll be waiting on you, okay, buddy?
Okay.
All right, I love you.
Love you. Bye. My dad taught me this last night. He drew a deer, and I showed him where to shoot him at, and I didn't know where the other spot to shoot him at, so I just shot him in the heart. That's all I wanted to do. She went like, she's right here. Might be right there. There she is.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Get up there.
Wow, she's heavy. Holy cow.
This is the time of year that many Kentucky hunters hit the woods. Hopefully no one encounters any wild pigs, but if they do, let's talk to Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife biologist and find out how we should handle it. So Terry, we're out here in Henry County again, pretty close to a location where you trapped pigs a few years ago and showed us some of your eradication efforts. Give me an update on how the pigs are doing here in the state of Kentucky.
Well, we've had a lot of success in Kentucky. Pigs are at the lowest numbers they've been in the last decade. We've got an aggressive eradication campaign in partnership with Wildlife Services.
To have a trapping effort, you have to get a phone call first. And these phone calls are not coming from the people that a lot of people would expect it to be. These are hunters and landowners that are saying, man, having pigs on my property is no good. So Mark, wild pigs and corn growing do not go hand in hand.
That doesn't work well, no. A lot of damage really quick.
So tell me a little bit about what you've experienced with wild pigs here in Henry County.
We had a problem. It was down the river. They started coming in, didn't really know at first what it was, and then it got to getting worse and worse.
You're talking about just literally knocking
They
stalks
just
down?
actually come in, knock the stalks down, and just knock the corn off. It looks like a bush hog went over it when they come in. And before we started catching some of them, they were getting like a half acre a night, just one group. They were just cleaning the fields.
They really mess up hunting opportunities as well. Wild pigs displace our native wildlife species. They displace deer and turkey. They outcompete them for food sources, especially acorns. You think you're gonna hunt near a white oak tree and have a successful hunt, and then all you see are pigs.
For a corn producer, did you have a piece of property that were either total losses or you just said, hey, I'm not gonna raise corn there anymore?
We didn't have total losses, but it was starting to get to that point, and then that's when we contacted the Fish and Wildlife to come in.
We'll do a landowner visit. We'll look for damage and we'll set cameras and bait up in the areas where there's sign and monitor the situation. And if we can get pigs on bait, then we'll set a trap. We used to have traps that had tripwires and rooting sticks, and they would catch maybe half of the group of pigs. Pigs live in sounders, so what we'll do is we'll try to catch that entire sounder.
We're not really exactly sure how pigs hit the landscape. We think people brought them in for hunting opportunities. You know, they're not that easy to hunt, and if you go out and you shoot a couple of these pigs, they get smart fast.
That's what I was told. In fact, I was told by Fish and Wildlife, don't shoot them. Don't scatter them. Let them come in and let them catch them in the traps.
You just said the most important thing is don't shoot, call, because you really want to get a trap out that you can remotely trigger. And that's how we've caught the last group of pigs that we think we've got here in the landscape in Henry County. We're caught using a remote trap, and that's really the way to do it.
Terry, we've come in here today and this has been a huge success for us. We've captured what may be one of the last remaining sounder groups in Henry County. Right now, we're getting ready to test boar for diseases. Wild pigs carry swine, brucellosis, and pseudorabies, and they are not found in domestic swine in the state, and we're trying to keep that from happening. So we're going to test the blood samples for those diseases.
So Dax is going to be doing a heart stick to draw blood. Notice we do have PPE on, latex gloves and glasses to protect ourselves from diseases.
I typically take 4 vials of blood and spin those down to 8 cryo vials. We've been in Henry County now for, what, 5 years, 4 or 5 years? And
yeah.
It's actually been a really rewarding experience here to realize we've made a huge difference for the landowners. People with crops and soybeans and corn who are having trouble with the pigs just destroying their property.
So Mike, you're a farmer here in Henry County.
Yes.
What was some of the worst damage you've seen?
Back in 2016, they wiped probably 80% of a field out over there overnight. So there's like probably 15 pigs in there eating.
You've also seen damage to some of your neighbors in their yard. They just root their yards up too. You've seen that as well, right?
Yes, they just took like a big strip in their yard and just like you plowed it or something.
It's estimated that Swine in the United States creates almost $2 billion worth of damage to crops and property.
This is exciting, thinking we've got the last sounder, thinking that we've eradicated the largest population of pigs in Kentucky.
A lot of sleepless nights, but been well worth the effort, and again, rewarding to know that we're helping people in the county. So we also do a DNA or genetic sampling on these pigs, and it's to get a database to hopefully figure out where these pigs are coming from and what strain of pig or what genetics they come from. You know, these pigs may come from North Carolina, they may come from Tennessee, and we're taking these samples to kind of figure that out. These boars like we have here, they typically will roam for miles looking for sows to breed with. They cover a lot of ground and are really hard to track. These traps have been really successful in getting rid of all these pigs. Traps reset.
So that's it. Our trap is set. Tell me about why you chose this particular location.
Typically, if you can find a wallow, you can put out some corn and you'll find the pigs.
Now that you've got it set, you'll back out of here and you'll watch this thing for a few days. And what happens if a couple pigs come in?
I've got a camera up here in the tree. It's motion censored. A pig will go into the trap. My camera will sense that pig and take a picture. And then that picture is then relayed to my phone. So I text my camera to drop the door, and bam, you drop the gate, and you know you've got them. Once they're in there, they'll finish up their feeding and they'll pretty much be there whenever you get here. That's right, they'll be here waiting. It's high tech, but it's the way to go. I mean, it's been a true success story.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out this cool picture of 9-year-old Rustin Ross. He caught 2 fish at the exact same time on the same lure. Nice job. 6-year-old Nicholas Morgan, who's a huge Kentucky Afield fan, caught this nice 31-pound blue catfish on Taylorsville Lake. Here he is with his mom and his grandpa. Nice job. Owen Honecker from Meade County traveled down to Hatchery Creek and caught this nice rainbow trout. Here we have 10-year-old Mason Glass, who already caught a fish of a lifetime. Here he is with a muskie caught at Tigert Creek in Carter County. Here we have a nice largemouth bass that was caught by Tyler Parton at Prisoner's Lake, which is a Finn's Lake. Here we have Barry Dame, who got his very first deer, a nice buck out of Slaughters, Kentucky. He got this deer on the youth weekend. Here we have a nice heavy antlered buck taken by Jake Ivey. This was a 9-pointer that was taken from the family farm in Anderson County. Congratulations. Here we have a great picture of Shelby Took, who caught her very first fish ever, a largemouth bass from a farm pond in Anderson County. Nice job. Here we have a cool picture. We have 4-year-old Dawson McPherson with his very first fish, a nice bluegill that was caught at Cedar Creek Lake. Nice fish. Many of Kentucky's outdoors men and women have been focused on deer season, but don't forget, fall is also one of the best times of the year to go fishing. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water. Hello, I'm Chad Miles. Did you know that when you buy a fishing license, it does more than provide summertime fun?
That's nice.
It produces millions of fish that are stocked in our waterways. It constructs new opportunities for boat ramps and public access. It provides new sustainable habitats for our native fish. It creates quality fishing opportunities close to home.
Good job.
It helps protect our home waters. And it makes for a better, more beautiful bluegrass for all that live here, including you and me. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources. It's more than just a fishing license. Let's go.
More Kentucky Afield is available at your fingertips. Whether by smartphone or computer, you'll find exclusive content and behind-the-scenes videos on our social media pages. Give us a like or follow to stay in the woods and on the water longer when you subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Kentucky Afield on your favorite app.